So the first topic, who are the most valuable people? Gosh, what a tough question. You know, you want really competent people, you want experienced people, that kind of thing. You know, we've learned a bunch of things. We've always talked about how it's not about just about intelligence. It's about skills. It's not just about experience. It's about wisdom and also about cultural fit. So that's the usual thing that you'd say at a startup event, where at a university event. So let me dive a little bit deeper into a few things that I would say, at least that we've found valuable. Number one is these are folks who think about others first. Okay, they know deeply that it's never about them, but about the goal. Drive is intrinsic, not extrinsic. If I know someone is always just looking out for their chance to get that raise or bonus or to get an elevated title, then I'm just generally less inclined to think that they're all in with the company or have the company and their team members' best interests at heart. I don't want to get into this too much because this can get a bit moralistic without careful treatment. But it suffices to say that this quality or the lack thereof has profound implications on one's ability to work in a team, to lead a team, to grow a team, to establish trust in an organization, to be able to be given more responsibility. So people who think about others first. The second is when we think through all the folks that we've worked with, it's people who are eager to serve. They say one of the best things about working for a startup or a tech company in many cases is you get to do things you're not qualified for. So true. In many cases, this is about doing things you've never done or have never been trained for. You know, they say this is about stepping out of your comfort zone, learning as fast as you can, building the car as you drive it, as people say. One of my mentors, Vinod Khosla, once told me that people are usually limited by the things that they attempt, not what they're capable of. Very true. And another friend and mentor, Dr. Ian Hunter from MIT, one of the greatest inventors of our time, hundreds of patents and dozens of companies with incredibly profound deep tech, told me that part of why he's been able to invent so many things and why people haven't invented them before is because most people didn't think these things were even possible, so they didn't even try. We've all heard this narrative before. Go beyond, just do it. Carpe diem, pursue your passions, right? But getting to do the things you're not qualified for has another facet that's important when it comes to teamwork. Many times the tasks that are most needed are the ones that you're overqualified to do, especially the tasks that you're not expected to do. Turning off the lights, cleaning up after other people's mess, figuratively and even literally as the case may be, as we've seen in some companies. Taking notes so that other people don't have to. The invisible, thankless work that everyone just expects someone else to do. The things that are not in your job description, not a part of your annual goals or your monthly objective or KPI, those things often get forgotten. And I mean, even just at an event like this, the countless hours, the work that had to be put together to organize it, and then just the AV equipment. Someone had to like put up this platform and this banner, you know. That's just a lot of work, and no one's ever gonna, I mean, the folks here are never gonna get recognized for it. I truly think industry moves forward not just by the brilliant dashes of new inventions by the one, but by the steady work of countless invisible faces done in the dark, which will never be recognized. Another famous person once said that the meek shall inherit the earth and that the least shall be the greatest. How true this is, not just in a company, but in life. So that's number two. And the last point here, I promise to keep my comments short because you know it's a Saturday morning, is the most valuable people. They are never satisfied. They are never, I'm not talking about their compensation package, I'm talking about what they've accomplished. They're never satisfied with what the team can do, but more importantly, never satisfied with what they've done or can do. I'm not just talking about reckless or selfish ambition or about having, but about having perspective of one's accomplishments and how that drives one to grow. Complacency is probably one of the biggest roadblocks to growth. Bill Gates has famously said that success is a lousy teacher. It makes smart people think they can't lose. How true. Have enough resources and money, that's fine. Have enough status, I don't know anyone who says that, but yeah, that's fine too. Have enough understanding, no, that's just not possible, not in the information age, right? And what does complacency engender? It slows the desire to learn. You think you know enough. It can reduce the desire to connect and truly engage with others. You think you don't need any new perspectives. It can halt the desire to work altogether. You think you've done enough, you've contributed enough, time to retire. Christy and I were talking the other day over breakfast, and she said that she realizes that we don't usually talk about deep stuff over breakfast. It's usually, have you gotten the kids ready or not? But this was a special breakfast where she said, she realizes now that the most difficult thing is not about being strong. There's a lot of talk about that, being strong these days, stand up for what you believe. In many cases, you just need to be firm. People think it's difficult, but it's actually harder to be open-minded. Because you have to see things from different perspectives. It's part of why the yeshiva system of education is so effective and has created so many great minds, not just because Talmudic scholars, but minds that are trained from youth to dissect a problem and constantly reanalyze from multiple perspectives. Amazing. So where does complacency come from? Is it lack of exposure? Can't be. We all have limitless access to knowledge. If we can't afford college, there are dozens of sites with great content. I mean, you can have an entire MIT undergraduate education completely online for free. I mean, it's 2021, people. It's amazing. So my thought is, well, first, the lack of purpose is one thing. I think that's an obvious factor. And that can be a longer discussion, so I won't get into that. But the other factor, I think, is just the lack of role models, the lack of heroes. But we have heroes. Many of the people here are here, for example, the people who are sponsoring this, the people who have started great companies and great organizations. So maybe what we really need is the opportunity to meet them, being able to connect with people who can relate, who we can relate to, who have gone much further, can be a great motivator. So what's the cure? How do we reimagine education? Don't ask me, I never finished mine, but I'll just say that to show people how to think about others first, to be eager to serve, and to never be complacent. I think that's a good place to start in terms of what we can teach people. I have some ideas which I'll share for another time, but for now I'll leave that to our great educators here in the room. But I think it starts with giving our young minds a purpose for why to learn, their perspective and exposure to know that it's not enough. And finally, the tools and rituals for how to learn. So until next time, thank you for your time.